School Internship Unit Plan based on Learning Outcomes. What is a unit plan? Every syllabus has got topics and subtopics which can be arranged around a theme or central principle which we can call as a unit. A unit plan is an organizational approach that helps teachers reflect upon what need to accomplish, how and when to accomplish it. Unit plan is part of the annual plan. To understand better, let us draw a circle. This circle can be divided into two parts, or three parts, or four parts, and so on. We can imagine that this circle represents an annual plan for a particular class and a particular subject. If we divide this circle, which we consider as an annual plan, into three parts or four parts, then each part of this divided circle becomes a unit for that particular class and for a specific subject. This page here represents an annual plan for class 7 and for a particular subject, science, to be studied during the academic year. We can see that there are altogether 18 chapters which need to be studied during the whole academic year. This is an example of an annual plan. On closer look, we can see that these chapters are not arranged in generic order. Now, if we arrange them according to a theme or central principle, we will get something like this. Note that the topics or chapters in green, in blue, in red, and in black are according to a theme or central principle. In this case, we are dividing the whole annual plan of an academic year into four parts, and each part becomes a unit which we call Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 4. Now, after categorize an annual plan into different units, it's time to write a unit plan which is based on students' learning outcomes. A basic unit plan must have the subject, the class, and the educational learning objectives, whether in cognitive or affective or psychomotor domains, with duration as shown. Here is the format for writing unit plan based on students' learning outcomes. We can see that it mainly consists of two parts: the pedagogical process and the assessment process. Pedagogical process is further divided into two parts, that is, teaching strategies and students' learning outcomes. This is a skeletal unit plan based on students' learning outcomes. Let us now construct a sample unit plan in Science, Class 7, from Chapter 1, that is, Nutrition in Plants. On closer look at the inside of the chapter, we can say that modes of nutrition, process of photosynthesis, other modes of nutrition in plants, and how nutrients are replenished in the soil are the contents that need to be covered in this chapter of nutrition in plants. This is how the contents will look like when it is finished. The next column after finishing writing the contents is the teaching strategies, which falls under pedagogical process. In the column of teaching strategies, a teacher may pose or ask questions to find out answers from students through reflection or brief discussions in order to get an idea of their previous knowledge or understanding of the topic. He or she can ask a question like, why does pitcher plant feed on insects? And so on. Whatever the students respond or answer, either through reflection or brief discussion or by giving examples of autotrophs, heterotrophs, saprotrophs, and so on, the teacher will record and write those responses in the student's learning outcome column as shown. This is how teaching strategies and students' learning outcomes columns will look like after it is finished. As usual, the teacher will perform his or her teaching strategy either by engaging or explaining or showing or drawing relevant diagrams and so on. While engaging and explaining, as teacher we should keep in mind their age, their grade, their maturity level, their previous knowledge or experience. All these factors significantly influence the effectiveness of engagement and explanation. We should also remember that during the course of teaching or engaging, the teacher can ask relevant or critical questions to test students' understanding or to seek further information and awareness. By asking questions, the teacher is trying to check learners' progress and monitor students' learning in order to provide feedback that can help students identify their strengths and weaknesses. It also helps teachers recognize the area where students are struggling and can address their problem immediately. In the assessment column, the teacher will record his or her assessment procedures like relevant question to test their understanding, critical question to seek further information and awareness, formative assessment, etc. This is how assessment column will look like when it is completed. It should be noted that learner is to be provided with an opportunity to work either in group or in pair or individually as the need arises. This is the final sample of unit plan on nutrition in plants based on students' learning outcomes when it is fully completed. Thank you.